Hello, mathematicians! Here we are, ready for math lesson number 8. So you've had a chance, hopefully at this point, to practice adding some decimals. Next up, we're going to subtract some decimals. Alrighty. So we'll start out with our trusty base 10 blocks here. So my first decimal I'm going to try is right here. Okay, hopefully by now you recognize that this is 1 whole piece of cake and 3/10 of a piece of cake. Alright, so we've got 1.3. And I would like to subtract or get rid of 1.1. Alright, so I have 3/10 and I want to get rid of one of them. Done. Okay, I'm left with 2/10. I have 1 whole cake. I'd like to get rid of 1 whole cake. Alright, I'm left with nothing. And the last thing, decimal point falls down to let me know that what I really have here isn't 2, it's 2/10. Okay? Oh, hey, wait a second. That's pretty much exactly like what we were doing for adding decimals, except for it's subtracting them instead. So we lined up the decimal points. We started on the right-hand side. We did our subtracting like usual. And then at the end, we dropped the decimal point down in the middle. Okay, let's see. Does it work for hundredths as well? Okay, so this time my decimal is 1.42. 4/10, 2 hundredths. Okay, so I've got 1.42 and I'd like to subtract, let's try 1.13. Okay, so this is what I've got, and I need to take, I've got 2 hundredths and I need to take 3 hundredths away. Can I do it? No. Now your brains might be trying to trick you, and they might say, oh, the answer is 1. But it can't be 1 because I don't have 3 hundredths, so I can't take 2 hundredths away. I only have 2. So remember, subtracting always, 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 no matter what your brain's telling you, it's always the top minus the bottom. Okay, so if I don't have enough, remember, he's got to go next door and he's going to ask if he can borrow. So we're going to take one of these guys and we're going to trade it in for some of these guys. See if we can make sure we've got enough. Not quite. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we'll check and make sure it's the same amount of stuff. Yes, it is. Okay, so this one goes away and that guy gets more. Right, so we've crossed this out. We've taken one of those away. Now we only have 3 left. And now instead of 2 hundredths, now I've got 12 hundredths. Okay, so now I've got 12 hundredths and 3 of them are going to go away. So I'm left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hundredths. Okay, I've got 3/10. One of them is going to go away. So now I've got 2/10. I've got 1 whole cake, and 1 whole cake is going to go away. Oh, sorry. And the last thing, the decimal point comes down. So I started out with 1.42. I subtracted or got rid of 1.13, and what I'm left with is 0.29. All right, so it still is working even if there are hundredths. So let's see if we can change this up. All right, this time we're not adding decimals, we're subtracting them. Okay, lined up with the decimal point. Yep, that part still works. Instead of adding normally, we're going to subtract normally, starting on the right. And if there's no number in a column, it's really 0, the hero, is standing there. Okay? And then the last thing, decimal point falls straight down into the answer. Okay? So, adding and subtracting decimals are pretty straightforward as long as you remember to line up that decimal point and you pay attention to those adding and subtracting rules. Remember, subtracting, always, 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 top minus the bottom. All right, what are we going to do this week, you might ask? Well, here we have it. We're going to do Blue Book, page 277 and page 278. Or if you have a green book, you're going to do page 235 and page 236. Okay, run into trouble? Have any questions? Send me an email and we can Skype it out. Okay, take care. Happy mathing.